Everybody, how you doing? My name is Paul Turner out of the UK, and the gentleman to my left or right, whichever way it is, I never know with these things, is Mr. Rob Huntley. How you doing, Rob?
I'm very well, thanks, Paul. Good morning to you.
And to you, we're doing this on a Saturday morning, which is rare for me, but we wanted to get this information out. Now, we're going to try and keep this on point and pretty brief, okay? Let me tell you who it's for and what it's about. So it's about you potentially quitting your job if you want to, or potentially having a little side hustle, a little side gig that could make you that extra $200, $500, pounds, whatever, that would just change things for you. Up to, like this gentleman did, quitting his job. Now, the cool thing about Rob is that he's very willing to share exactly what he did. So I'm going to kind of be the person who knows nothing about this to make sure we stay on track, to show you, maybe a complete newbie, how you can do this as well. So who is it aimed at? It is not aimed at experienced Forex. Sometimes what happens is we get experienced Forex marketers and they come and say, well, I think your Fibonacci level there might be, you know, 0.2 out or whatever. That's not what it's about. This is we know our place in the sort of grand scheme of things. We're not Wall Street traders, okay? We are traders that can help you get free from your job if you want what you want. So it's kept simple. So before you go, oh, Forex is complicated, this is not complicated, and Rob's going to show you it. Look, I'm going to say it. If Rob can do it, if I can do it, believe me, anybody can do it, because as you'll see. So stick around with us, okay? But just bear that in mind. You know, it is simplistic because it works. That's what works. And we're going to do the whole legal thing. There is risk with trading anything. There's risk with crossing the road. There's risk with putting money in the bank in case the bank goes, like, you know, remember Royal Bank of Scotland went, you know, there is risk with anything. Now, obviously, you can and you will lose Forex trades. Rob, you lose trades, right?
Yeah, you will lose.
The trick, because sometimes you can do everything right and the markets go crazy because Donald Trump says something stupid or Theresa May, you know, Brexit or whatever. So just to let you know, guys, what Forex is about is a series of wins and losses. But the trick is, if you have the right strategy, we call it, i.e. learn from a guy who quit his job doing it, then you're going to have more wins and losses. And that's what Forex is about. So I'm saying that up front because I know some people might just go, oh, I'm a winner, Paul. I can't take losing one trade. Even though that might stop me being financially free. I don't even want to go there. So I just know some people have that attitude and they drop off. And I know that some people like to make excuses why things won't work for them. And, you know, I'm a mindset guy, so I just talk blunt. As you go through this, Rob, we've done another interview with Rob going over his story, so we're not going to linger on it at all. But in a nutshell, Rob, you used to work full time, yes?
I did, yeah. Normal sort of 9 to 5:30 hours. And then I got home from work, and I was fairly lucky in that I got home till about 6 o'clock in the evening. Yeah. And that's when I was able to start doing the learning and doing the trading after a while.
Okay, now this is where people start making excuses. Oh, he's fairly lucky because he got in at 6. What if you'd have got in at 7? Would you still be able to quit your job?
Yeah.
What about if you got in at 8?
Yes. This is the thing that, you know, whatever time you're looking at, the Forex markets are open 24 hours a day. I know people who, I've spoken to people who work night shifts, they work, you know, silly shifts, and they are still able to place trades. We've even got facilities where people can. I was talking to a builder the other day, and he was on a job, and he was able to trade from his phone. So yeah, you could do it as and when you can.
Yeah. Now, I only wanted to say that, guys, because I want you to know that you know, Rob's strategy is one amongst many. We focus on a couple predominantly because they are the ones that the average person can seem to sort of fit into their lifestyle very easily without it being a pain. And just before we share screens and things like that, Rob, how many hours a day would you say you were like literally working to make that happen?
Sorry, now or when I was?
No, then when you were doing it part time.
I would probably 2 or 3 hours an evening.
Yeah, and I want to pick up on something you said in the other interview. When you say you were there working for 2-3 hours of an evening, which to be honest, guys, is good. But again, I know people, 2 to 3 hours. I've only got 1 to 2 hours. But were you actually like glued to your computer? Did you have to be glued to your computer?
No. The one I'm about to show is there's an audible alert. So where I'm sat here at my computer, the lounge is just that direction, and I would be sitting on the sofa watching TV, and I get the audible alert. It's kind of a ka-ching sound, and I just come back to the computer, go and have a look at the potential trade setup that's been called, and then go from there. So yeah, I wasn't on it all the time. I could then take my my phone,
Yeah.
go and monitor it from back on the sofa in front of the TV.
Okay, guys, and you don't even have to monitor it if you don't want. There's things you can do to set it up so that it will automatically get you out the trade, win or lose. It will, so you don't have to be there. So, okay, I think that's enough of that. And Rob, I don't know if you know, but this summer, so what we know, March, spring, very soon they're turning the software you're going to show, the Forex software that we're going to show today, they're turning that into an app. So you won't even need to go to your computer. It'll just go from your phone. So it's going to be even easier for people very, 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 very soon. Right, let's extract your knowledge, sir. So treat me like a 2-year-old and teach me how to get free from my job, please.
Okay. Right, let's just do a screen share.
Bear in mind, guys, it's Saturday, so the Forex markets aren't open today. You can use this software to trade crypto, but we don't trade crypto because it's a bit volatile. We prefer safe and boring. Here we go. Right.
Okay, if you see my screen. Okay, so I've opened this on a computer that I don't normally use. And when you come onto the web analyzer for the first time, this is the software, and this has been compared to really, really expensive software.
500 million.
Yeah.
Compared to.
There we go.
A piece of software that banks developed that they spent 500 million to develop. And then the guy that created this is a guy called Stephen Hooley, and he was at a convention, and the guy came up to him and was saying like how good this software was, and Stephen said, "Oh, something like the conversation went along the lines of something like, you obviously know something about software." And apparently the guy used to use similar at the bank and knew how much it cost, 500 million. Don't worry, guys, this doesn't cost. This doesn't even cost 1 million. In fact, there's a way you can get it for free. Anyway, carry on, Rob. Sorry.
No problem. So when you go on to it for the first time, it says, hold on, if you plan to take, and all this sort of thing, but basically saying that you need to set up a strategy template first. And when I say set up, you don't need to build it yourself. These are already templates that are in place that have been put together by other experienced traders, and you just have to choose one that suits you. Now, for me personally, I like to use what's called MAM Power Trades, which is MAM Power Trades. So what you do is you click on any of these links here, and there's a strategy link at the bottom here as well, and it gives you this pop-up window. I assume this is still visible, is it, Paul?
The pop-up window's not come, but I can see your screen.
Oh, okay. Well, that's a shame that maybe I need to stop and then share the whole screen.
Yeah, do that because I want to show people something else as well.
Okay, 2 seconds, people. Sorry about that.
See, this is just live. This is real. We don't mess around.
That better?
Yeah, there we go. Excellent.
Okay. So this is the pop-up window. So let me just go through that again. So just clicking on this link here. This pop-up window appears, and it says pick a strategy. So as I've said, I always go for the MAM Power Trades, which is this one here.
So can you just scroll through and just show people all the different strategies there are in there?
Yeah, there's loads of them. And I remember when I first used this software, there was probably only 4 or 5 strategies, but now there, as you can see, there's a whole list of them here. It's amazing, and these are different trading strategies to suit your trading style. So yeah, there's plenty there to choose from.
Now I'm going to suggest you stick with Rob's. Why? Because I want to grab people by the shoulders sometimes and shake them. Because people go off and look at different things, and I'm like, the guy quit his job with this, and as you're going to see, it's very simple. Why are you looking at anything else? But once you've got one strategy down with Forex and you're making money with it, that's the point where you add a strategy. Don't stop doing the successful one, right? Just come in and master this one. It is very simple, but you just kind of need to do the wax on, wax off bit like Karate Kid to start with. So there's lots of different strategies. Before we get into showing your strategy, can you just do me a quick favor?
Yeah.
So if you do your click save settings and reload, so that will load the manpower trade.
Yeah. So this button up here is to save settings and reload, but it's also got this button just below that says save mobile or Safari desktop. So if you have to be using Safari desktop, you have to click that button. So,
or a phone or a laptop. Yeah. I'd rather if you're out and about. So you'll see the screen now, and it loads the settings that Rob uses for how he trades. Okay, you may notice a little blip in the video there. That's because we had a slight issue getting the actual strategy on, but we worked out what was going wrong. It's because the markets aren't open and stuff. We just needed to click a different currency pair, didn't we, Rob?
Yeah.
Still learning.
Yeah.
You don't have to be clever to do this stuff, right? So do you want to go back to share screen then, Rob?
Yep, let's go for it. Everything nice and visible?
Everything is nice and visible, and that looks like the actual template we wanted. Now, before we so rudely got off and interrupted, could you just show people where, so supposing people got their hands on this Forex software that you use,
yeah,
and they want to know how to learn to use it. Now, you are so generous doing this and showing, because you don't actually, in my opinion, you don't need to go and look at this, but can you show them all the question mark icon over there? There's all the videos that people have got. Top left, there you go. Education and help. So the actual page is called Getting Started. There's a checklist. It says what the web analyzer is. There's a specialist Facebook group where Rob actually got interviewed. How many? Is it 43,000 members in there now?
Yeah.
43,000 people using this software, and you're not. What's wrong with you? My word. Anyway, never mind. So there's a Telegram channel to get alerts. So if you're not around to hear the ka-ching, you still can get notified. There's a YouTube channel where Stephen Hooley's very active, and I think you're going to appear on there very soon. That interview you did with him, so you might see Rob's familiar face. And basically everything you could ever want to know about the web analyzer is on there. You know, log in to get to know the web analyzer, talk you through it, an introductory video for beginners, and so on and so on. Talks about the strategies, but the only one you're going to need is this one. Don't get shiny object syndrome. This is the only one you're going to need. So there's a whole community of 43,000 people, guys. You are not on your own, and you get to be in our group as well. So, right, let's get Rob. Let's let Rob get on with it. So, Rob, teach me how to be rich. Can't say that legally. Show me how to potentially make money in the Forex markets, please, Rob.
Indeed. So what normally happens is you get the ka-ching sound and you get these boxes appear on the left-hand side. So as the new one comes in, these move down. I'm just going to pause this because it keeps flickering as it's refreshing. So we're looking at this call here, which was made yesterday at 8:30. So obviously it says there 13 hours and 16 minutes ago. It says it was a potential sell on the Euro Australian dollar on the 15-minute time frame. The one below that is a potential buy on the Euro US dollar on the 5-minute time frame, and it gives you information that the price that it was called at. As I said, when the price was when this alert was called, and so all you need to do is just click on where it says the name of the currency. So EUR AUD. Click on that. Oh, of course, we've actually got that one up at the moment.
Yeah, we're already up.
Yeah, already on it.
While that's loading, I know people are going to ask, how many trades does it call a day?
I think it's between 50 and 80 sort of calls per day. I mean, it's literally every, well, we can look there. There's 13 hours and 16 minutes, 13 hours and 21 minutes. So there's only sort of 5 minutes between those two there, 36 minutes. So another 15 minutes on that one. So they're coming through very regularly throughout the whole day. Obviously, this has stopped now because the markets close on a Friday, and when the markets open up again on a Sunday evening for us UK time, you'll get alerts coming through regularly, just to give you, because the way the software is developed, there's it gets data and it's got an algorithm in there, and it will say, right, according to the information, this is a potential sell or buy opportunity. So all we do is literally, when we get the alert, we click on the currency pair and it produces this chart here. So I'm just going to move that out of the way. So this may look at first glance like something that's quite complicated, but it's really, really not. These candles here represent a 15-minute time period.
Okay, so just to explain, if you're totally new, the candles are those lines, those bars, the green and red bars on the screen.
Yeah. So the red bars coming down means that price is moving in a downwards direction. The green ones move the prices going in an upward direction. So the strategy that I use is literally using what's called a trend line, and that is this tool here, the second one down.
Can you make the chart the full screen so we just focus on one thing at a time?
Yeah, that'd be easier, wouldn't it? There we go. So that's the full price chart for you, nice and clear.
So red is a sell, green is a buy.
Yeah. So red, as you see, the actual candle when it starts with let's go with this nice pig red one here. Where the top of that candle is there, that's where the price is at the start of that 15-minute time period, and when it closes, sorry, I can't get it. There we go. That is the bottom, or that's the price that was at the end of that 15-minute time period. Now you might see on these candles that there are wicks, that they're referred to as wicks. So price has actually moved further down in that 15-minute time period, but it actually closed a bit further up.
Yeah.
And the same if you've got wicks above, price has moved up and then actually closed further.
But for me to trade your strategy, do I need to understand all that?
It's nice to have the basics covered, but no, you don't necessarily need to understand everything on the chart there.
Okay, that's good.
So the way I refer to this is literally joining the dots. It's just drawing a line and joining the dots. So to use a trend line, we're going for this trend line tool, which is just the second one down. There's a little arrow to the right which gives you additional options, but you don't even need to really worry about those. So here is the trend line tool. It gives you this little pop-up here, and you can start clicking and dragging. So what we're looking at here, let's go from the bottom of the wick on this candle here, and we're trying to get as many touches as possible on this trend line.
So the way I put this to people is, it's like, imagine if you're looking at that, if it was printed out on a piece of paper, and like maybe you're at school, because it is that simple, you got a 12-inch ruler, and you just put the ruler against the dots. You literally are joining the dots, right? It's just that you're using a computer to draw the line.
Yeah. I'm just going to move that up a little bit, just because we've got some more touches. So there, and then we get to this point here. Now, this was slightly out of the ordinary, shall we say, because there was news that caused this particular drop here. But you could see, you could draw that trend line, and you could see that once price breaks that trend line, then that's when you're getting in for a sell. But there are some other indicators that I'm going to go through with you briefly, which help support that decision. Cool. So that is quite literally that's a quite a big 15-minute on the 15-minute chart. That's quite a long period of time. You can also,
why have you drawn the trend line at the bottom of the candles and not at the top?
Good question. As the price is moving upwards, yes, we've got red and green candles during that whole process. But as price moves upwards, you draw the trend line beneath the candles to support the price going up. So sometimes you get, as we've got here, the price moves up, it comes back down, retests that line, goes up, comes back down, retests that line. The same if it's a sort of downward movement, a sort of general overall downward movement, you put the trend line above the candles. So in this example, well, in fact, let's just go for this one here. in this example here, we would have a sort of smaller section where price is coming down, but it hasn't broken through the trend line. And when the price goes through the other side of that trend line, then we know that we're going to get in for a buy.
Okay, so the way I explain this to people is you can see the prices come down, hit the line, bounce, stop it, come down, hit the line, bounce, stop it, come down, hit the line, bounce, stop it. What we're looking for, because this is saying euro versus the Australian dollar, we're looking for a sell. So at some point, the price has to stop bouncing off that line and going up, which is a buy, and it has to break it for a sell. So if we want the price to drop, the trend line drops to the bottom of the candles. If we want the price to go up, the trend line goes on the top of the candles. So up, down, it's the same. So if we want the price to go down, the trend line goes down. If we want the price to go up, the trend line goes up. So that's, I mean, God, it's so simple to remember, but you'll find this easy to learn, guys, I promise you. So, okay, so that was great. So thank you, Rob.
No problem. And you can see that during these ups and downs, you can actually draw trend lines pretty much all the way through. So you can draw a trend line as prices has moved up in this particular section here, and then as price has broken that trend line, you can get in for a sell and get some pips there. Again, you can draw the trend line as the price is coming down, so that when the price has broken that trend line, you can get in for the buy. So you can do that to up, down, up, down, up, down. This bigger one I did originally was just an overall trend for that particular pair. But this is just drawing trend lines underneath the price going up and on top of the price coming down. So you're literally waiting for the price to break through that trend line, and you know which direction you're heading.
Excellent.
So,
okay. So we understand trend lines basically. When the price breaks the trend, that's our opportunity to get in for a buy or a sell.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's probably prudent at this point then for you to assume that you've just literally got do Euro USD, do a different one. So you've got a blank screen. And then just talk me through then. So I'm totally new to this, but I want to make money trading Forex in a safe way, as safe as it can be. So talk me through how you would tackle this.
Okay, so this is the Euro US dollar on the 5-minute time frame.
Okay, so how quick do I have to get to this trade? Do I have to be there right away?
No. I mean, at the moment, as soon as your alert comes in, it's not necessarily going to make that move as soon as it's there. It might be that it's saying this is a potential setup. So you go and have a look at it, you draw your trend lines, and then think, right, okay, you can make your decision based on drawing the trend line and the other indicators I'm going to go through with you as well.
So you don't take all of them either?
No, because sometimes you'll draw your trend line and price might just sort of nudge through the trend line, but not enough to make it a solid confirmation of a buy or a sell. So you don't always get in just because the price has broken through the trend line. It's a case of watching it just to make sure that it's definitely going to go your favour.
So I think what might be useful then, you analyse Euro USD, look at when it came in and everything, and just do it and show me how long it takes to analyse, doing everything, including the other bits. Just do it like you're analysing it so people can see how long it takes, and then we'll talk about the other indicators you use and why you make a decision to get in or not. Does that sound good? Yeah,
no, definitely. So this was called yesterday at 8:25 in the evening. So we are looking at, as you can see at the bottom down here, we've got the time. So I'm looking for 8:25. So that's there. So that candle there is where is the time, the 5-minute time period that this was called, and it says it's a potential buy.
Right.
So what we're looking at, let's make that a little bit bigger. So 8:25 is here. The price it was called at was 1.12975. So these are the price down the right hand side here.
Yeah.
1.12975 is about there. So in fact, just to make it easy for you, I'm going to draw a little so I'm going to move that so I can see all the bits. Okay, so that green line there is the price that was called 1.12975. So all we do now is we're drawing our trend line, and we're going to go from about there, like that, to get as many touches on that. Because we want the price to go up, as Paul said earlier, we've got the trend line on top of the candles. Make that a bit clearer for you. So we've got touches there, 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 and there. So now this particular candle here has turned green, so that's a signal that the price is going up. But what we're going to do is look at some other indicators on here. So I'm trying to make that a bit bigger for you. Okay, so the other indicators that we've got when we use this strategy template is the stochastic, and I'm not going to go into some technical stuff about what stochastic means and what it does.
Do I need to know what it is to be able to do your strategy?
No, you don't need to know. As long as you can see two lines crossing, then you don't need to worry about it. Again, MACD is the other signal we check, and again, you don't need to know what that means or understand it all. It's just a case of seeing these two lines cross, the blue and the red lines cross, and whether it's above the baseline or the zero line, which is this line along the middle. Well, it's not really middle at the moment, but along here. And then the third one is the RSI, which is the relative strength index. So it's basically saying that when the line is up in this area here, so towards 70, ideally, in an ideal world, it should be above 70 for it to be in an overbought position, and then a potential sell is going to come, or the other way, it's going to be below 30, so it's oversold, and therefore is in a position to start price going up.
Cool.
So quite literally, we've drawn our trend line, we've got the break in price here. Now what we're looking for is the support of these lines here. So we're looking at the blue line crossing the red line on the stochastic and both pointing up.
Blue for a buy?
Yeah, blue for a buy. And if it's a sell, we're looking at the red line being on top of the blue line and price coming down. So here, for example, we've had a crossover at the top. The red line is above the blue line and starts coming down.
And if we look above at the chart,
yeah.
If you start right from the left, you can actually see it. You can see the blue lines at the top, right at the very left on the stochastic, and the price went up.
Yeah.
You see the red line crossed over, so the red line was on top, and the price came down.
Price going down.
And you can actually follow it and see for yourself how well it works.
Yeah. So that is basically giving you a good signal that the price is going up or down when these lines cross. Now, sometimes these lines will cross, and you'll get the price going up there and price coming down, which is nice and clear. But we're also looking at these blue and red lines on the MACD as well. So this is sort of a secondary confirmation that is happening. And we might see that on here, the blue line on the stochastic has started going above the red line a little bit earlier than the MACD. But it may well be that that's going up and then starts coming down again. So we're looking for a strong confirmation that this is definitely going in the right direction. So certainly on this area here and this area here, we've got the red line above the blue line on the MACD, red line above blue line on the stochastic, and prices coming down. Conversely, blue line above the red line on stochastic and blue line above the red line on the MACD and above the zero line, so it's a strong buy.
Do you always wait for the MACD as well? Because it does tend to move first on the stochastic, doesn't it? Do you always wait for the MACD to be extra safe?
I do personally. That's the strategy that I've been using is waiting for confirmation from the MACD as well.
Awesome. So that's probably the trend line is probably the most important then.
Yes.
MACD is probably the second most important.
Yeah, because the stochastic kind of calls the signal a little
No,
bit.
MACD, sorry. Yeah, did I say that? MACD is the second. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. And then the RSI, which is the third indicator on here, is more of a sort of a third or a possible. You don't need to worry about the RSI too much, but it's just helpful to see that if the RSI is up high, then we know that it's going to be a sell, or if it's down low, it's going to be a buy. But it can sometimes range in the middle here. If you're looking at this particular section here, this is sort of mid-range, and yet price still gone up and come down, so that hasn't affected that particular move in currency.
What I'll say to you guys is, you don't need to understand this to do Rob's strategy at all, because Rob's talking you through it. Wait for the lines to cross. So trend line, you draw a line. It's all lines, isn't it? Lines, lines, lines. Wait for the trend line to be broken. Wait for the lines to cross on the MACD. The stochastic then is an additional confirmation. Now, once you understand these things, these indicators, they're all oscillating indicators, which means they will tend to go to the top. Look at the stochastic. Up, down, up, down, up, down. So when I look at the RSI there, you can kind of see what's happening. The overall trend, you could draw a trend line on the RSI if you wanted to, but you can see the overall trend is up. So it looks like the price is going up. The lines, blues on top on the stochastic. We're about to get the cross on the MACD, and the RSI is heading up. It's going to go to the top, and then it's going to come down. And what I like about this Forex software called the Web Analyzer is it will give you the buy now, and then probably later on you'll get the sell as well. And I know Rob sometimes just sits there, up, down, up, down, up, down.
Well, this is a like perfect sort of setup for that, because you've got a trend going up that way. I can't. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll make that big again. So you've got a trend going up that way. You can then do another trend line with the price coming down that way. You've got another trend line with the price going up that way, and so on and so forth. You can sometimes sit on one currency pair and just do up, down, up, down, up, down all the time. But the whole point of this is it's calling out alerts all the time for you on various currencies, so you don't need to go and look for these sorts of things all the time.
So I'm the kind of guy that likes to keep it simple. That's why I use the tools. You know, I'm going out later. I can walk into town, but I'll take the car because it makes it life a lot easier. You know, my wife, I'm going to buy her a washing machine one day, so she doesn't have to sort of do all. I can't wash. I'll tell you now, guys. I do work out where the bleach goes in the washing machine once, but my wife won't let me wash clothes ever again. But, do you know what I mean? We have tools to make life easy, and this is a lifesaver. Okay. So let's just do one more example for people, and then I'll tell them how they can get some a video where you actually do some live trading, you know, when the market's open and stuff. So go to an older one, because I know Friday night it sort of closes down a bit. How far can we go? But look, 14 hours. You see, this thing calls out trades all day.
Yeah.
We'll just have to go for one of those, I think. Otherwise,
let's go for that one.
Don't talk me through it. Just do it.
Okay.
So I'm going to time you, because I know this, again, people like to make excuses. I haven't got time. Right. So go.
Okay.
Draw the lines in for people so they can see when it was called and the price as well. So that you wouldn't normally have to do that. I know, but
yeah. So looking 1840 is there. So that's on that candle there. And we're looking for a potential sell. So we'll draw our trend line. That's a direction like that. 1840, yeah. So we've got the price called there, and it's broken through. We're looking at the stochastic's got the red above the blue line there. The MACD's got the red above the blue line, and that was a nice little move down. In fact, how many go through pips?
Yeah, well, I'll explain pips in a minute. I just want you to do this.
On this time frame, that would have been, we only really go for sort of 3 to 5 pips as a minimum on this, and yeah, you would have got sort of 20 20
Okay.
pips, quite easy on that.
Okay,
So
guys. So
that was,
it's now 10:08. It took a minute. Took a minute.
yeah.
Now, first trade you do won't take a minute because you'll be questioning and checking and stuff. But I mean, am I over egging that, Rob? With literally that takes you a minute.
Yes, that's all I do is draw that line, and that's all the work that's involved. The rest of it is just looking at the other indicators.
Okay, so Rob mentioned pips. Now, my understanding is in the forex market, because we're dealing with currency, you can't. If I say to Rob, "Hey, I made $10 today," Rob would say, "Well, first of all, that's very poor. Why aren't you doing more?" But then he would also say, "Well, what sort of dollars do you mean? Do you mean Australian dollars, New Zealand dollars, American dollars? What do you mean?" So how they measure movement in the market, so that it's relative to everybody, it's called pips, pointing percentage. So it's actually a percentage move called pointing percentage, called pips. So there are various things you can do to try and determine how many pips to get, but Rob has a very simple strategy. You tend to go for no more than 5 pips on a 5-minute chart.
Yeah.
How many on a 15? Because the time bands go M5, which is each candle is 5 minutes. Then there's a 15-minute candle. So on a 15-minute time frame, what would you tend to go for?
Then go for 10 pips on a 15-minute time frame, and then 20 to 30 on an hour time frame, and then 30 to 50 on a 4-hour time frame. The thing is, we've done. Some of the team have been looking at this and doing some more testing on the sort of 5-minute time frame, where I've said to get 3 to 5 pips. They've actually been able to get more than 3 to 5 pips, but I'm setting 3 to 5 pips as a target for people, because just by grabbing those small handfuls of pips and getting out of the trade, you are banking your profit, and also that is, you're getting used to using the software, placing the trades. So it's building your account and it's building your confidence in using this. Because some people will go for, oh, I'm going to go for as many pips as I can, and then find that turns around and goes back to like 0 or even negative pips. And actually, if you're just banking your profit as you're going along, you will, there's always opportunity for you to get into the trade again later on. But yeah, just 3 to 5 pips on the 5-minute, 10 pips on the 15-minute, 20 to 30 on the hour, and 30 to 50 on the 4-hour.
Okay, and you must have known a lot about forex before you started doing this, I'm guessing then.
No, I didn't know anything about forex. I didn't know anything about the software. I didn't know anything about just trading in general. I was obviously aware of trading, but I didn't know anything about the foreign exchange and all that sort of thing. I just saw a video that thought that looks quite straightforward, and got involved with it. That was trading on your phone, and then once I got to grips with everything, I started in October 2017. It took me a while to go through all the learning process and then to start working with this particular software and understanding how that worked. But actually, I've tried to simplify it by using this template and the way I'm using it, so that other people can almost get up and running with this and start making money quickly.
Well, again, look, we trading does carry risk, but you had a new guy start, and I was speaking to him last night because he was asking me some questions. Which, by the way, guys, we are a trading community. You're not on your own. There's the Web Analyzer group, but also we have our own group called the Ninja Forex Traders Group, and that is for members of the people that buy this software. And you get other stuff as well. We're just focusing on this today. But he, on his first day, he won 6 out of 6 trades. Now, I started 2 years ago. I wish I'd had this 2 years ago, because a total newbie came in and just watched Rob's videos. Rob's got more videos that he just going through the same thing again and again. Like I say, wax on, wax off. But he won 6 out of 6, and I'm like, that's impossible. How can somebody new come in and do 6 out of 6? So if you're looking at this and thinking this is complicated, guys, if you do 5 trades, you'll start understanding it. And you start with demo, so you're not risking any real money. You can back test all you want. We've looked at 2 or 3 today, and they've all won. but you can now come in, literally, there's a 7-day trial with the company that provide this software. It's called IML, iMarkets Live. You get a 7-day money back guarantee period. So if you come in, 7 days isn't long enough. I say that to everybody. But if they gave longer trials, you know what happens? People just take trials all the time. And they just never pay for the stuff. They just like, oh, you know, I'll do a week, get my money back. Oh, I'll try and. So it's a 7-day period. But so if you really think you've made a mistake, you can get your money back. But you won't, because this is just one thing. And if you want to see, well, Rob, let me ask you this. You don't have to answer it if you don't want. How many pips do you get on average a day?
Oh, on average, I'm literally going to have to guess, because but I'm normally aiming for sort of 20 to 30 pips a day. Well, 20 is my minimum, but 20 to 30 pips a day. And there are some days where I don't want to get all excitable about all this, but some days we could be getting hundreds of pips.
Okay. So if you get 3 to 5 on a 5-minute and 10 pips on a 15-minute and 20 to about 20, what was it, 20 to 30 on an hour trade, you could literally sometimes be done with one trade.
Yes. Yeah. I'm fully aware of people who literally place one trade a day, and they are using the other information that we've got in our group. They are building their account up, compounding, and that's all they need to worry about. Just the one trade a day, and they're away.
Well, I think this is probably a good time to draw this to a close, because if you're not interested, that's cool. But if you want more information, if you'd like to see the compounding spreadsheet, where all I do is aim for 10 pips a day, guys. That's what I aim for. And usually it's hard to stop trading. Because you know what I mean? So if you want to see the compounding spreadsheet and how that works, just compounding 3% a day, we've got that. If you want to see some of the other suite of tools that you get, I mean, because this is one way, and as a group now, we're kind of focusing on just 2 or 3 things that really work. We've got another tool that's got an 88% success rate, which is great. Loads of other things we can teach you, but our problem is people come in, they get overwhelmed. We're trying to keep them on stuff, and again, shake people by the shoulders. Look, Rob quit his job in 8 months from a cold start doing this, and we've now got newbies coming in doing it a lot less time, because thanks to Rob, he teaches it. You know, we are trying to keep you in making, like I said at the start, this is for people that want to make money, whether that's a couple of £100 or dollars a month, whether that's you want to get free from your job. This, you've got evidence there, and Rob teaches in our group, so you've got access to the guy that can teach you how to do it. He's shown you how to do it here. You just need the software. And there is a way to get that for free. So reach out to whoever sent you this video, get in touch with Rob, whatever. And Rob, I'm going to let you have the closing words. Is there anything you want to say to people looking at this you think they should know?
I know you said already, the reason I went through all this and the way sort of teaching this to people in the group, it was just to simplify. There are so many strategies, and some people get overwhelmed with information, but using this in this particular way is keeping it nice and simple, and you don't have to get overwhelmed with it. It's really, really simple and straightforward. So if you're not wanting to take a look at, not even desperate to take a look at it, then I'm fairly sure there's going to be something peculiar going on there. But on top of that, we've got so many other great tools in the group. There are sort of team bonuses, I suppose, that can help with all the trading as well. So yeah, there's this strategy alone can make you money, but there's even more beyond that as well.
And it doesn't matter what else you do. I really don't get why people aren't doing this to multiply their money. You see, the great thing about Forex is most people that are looking to make money, what they do is they go and join a network marketing business, an affiliate marketing business. They're trying to make money. They start a market stall, and sell things, whatever. They're trying to make money all the time. They're always chasing the money. What's different about this, and what I love about it, is you're actually taking the money you've got and you're turning it into more. You don't have to. How much selling and recruiting did you do, Rob, to get free from your job?
None, and that's where I've not really got into this to quit my job and to grow groups or teams of people. I just wanted to make some extra money, and and I didn't. I posted a bit maybe on my Facebook timeline, but I didn't really do anything apart from just get on with it myself. And then, yeah, so no selling or recruiting because the product was just making me money anyway. So, yeah.
Awesome. Thanks, Rob. Thanks for your time. Thanks again for sharing. I know a lot of people are going to get a lot of value out of this. So with that said, I'm not sure what it's going to be yet because we've just done this on a Saturday morning. I'm not sure whether there's going to be a link to see Rob trade live, to see a live example, to see the compounding spreadsheet, but there'll be a link or a button to reach out to somebody, whoever sent you this. So get back to them, click the button, whatever, have a look around, and we'd love to welcome you into the group if it's something for you. But do you know what? It doesn't affect our income whether you join or not. So don't think we're desperately trying to recruit you. We're not. We're just trying to help. My mission is to have 1,000 people get financially free. We're currently at 267 people in the group, well on the way to it. Rob is one of them. Rob was introduced by somebody I introduced to this. She's absolutely crushing it as well. She's a stay-at-home mum. So, just our goal, guys, is to get this information out to you and let you know this is an option for you if you want to make money. And once again, Rob, thanks for being willing to sort of put yourself out there and share it.
Thank you, Paul.